Hello, my name is David Webb, and this is a video for Dweebovision. I am a Scrabble grandmaster, and in this video I am going to play Scrabble while providing in-game commentary on my moves. Hopefully this will help to improve your game, and be fun to watch. The game has just started, so let's join the action. It's me to go first, and I have the blank, but do I have a bingo? I'm going to run through the alphabet and see if anything springs to mind. Nothing so far, but this is quite a good set of tiles. And I certainly wouldn't want to miss a bingo if there is one here. Gosh, that looks familiar, but I don't think Hamartia is good. I think it's Hamartia. Haven't seen anything yet. Again, that looks promising, but I can't see anything. Ah, amatory. Fantastic. Sometimes when you do these exercises in terms of going through the alphabet, you don't expect them to bear fruit. And I had that sort of feeling with this rack, but I was wrong. Amatory, 80 points. Now I have duplicate tiles, but the tiles are fairly bingo-y. I don't have a 7-letter bingo. Incidentally, I didn't look for a better bingo once I'd found amatory because I was sticking the highest scoring tile on the double letter square, so I wasn't going to score anymore. I don't think I've got a bingo with this rack. Quite a few floaters to consider. So I need to decide how to sort it out, and my priority is to play off the duplicate tiles and to leave a good rack balance. So a play of G-I-O would achieve that. But the D and the G don't have good synergy together, so I may be looking to play off more tiles. I think my best rack lead with this rack would be DE or DEI. Probably just DE, but I don't think there's a way of playing off the remaining 5 tiles. Well, there is now somewhere to play GIO, which is column 12, making Joe. I'm wondering about playing Geoid, keeping GI. I'm also looking in column 10 to see if I can place my G next to the I and play down parallel to J. Can't see a way of doing that and playing off an I. So, I don't really like Geo. I don't think it's best. Geo takes an A in front and it's inviting a play down column 13. I could play Dogi. Over here. Ah, here's even better because I'm not placing a vowel under a premium square. This keeps the board more open, which I'd like to do since I'm ahead, and it plays off more tiles and it doesn't keep the DG combination, which I don't like. That was 18 points, which was more than, well, one more than for Geo. Now, this is pretty good. I've blocked my bingo through the M, our mid-row. Do I have anything through the other floaters? It's really just the J and the D to consider. Nothing through the J. And I can't see anything through the D. But I've got gyro at H1, 22 points, and I've also got the same play in column 12, making Joe. So my play of Doji has kept flexibility for me. If I'd played Geo and didn't have a bingo this go, my opponent could well have played in column 13 and I'd have played in column 14 and we'd have a little staircase up to the top. $25 points for my opponent. I've got a 50-point lead and I'm able to play in this spot. My opponent's provided no new floaters, but I note that Boone does take an A in front, so I might have an AJ play at some point. Gyro. This is keeping a vowel-heavy leave, but these tiles AER are so bingo-y and so synergetic that that is not a problem. Right, what do I have? Possibly nothing, but this is a good set of tiles. What this board is lacking is floaters. I'm looking at the G and the I of gyro. This is quite a high probability set of tiles. I'm fairly confident there isn't a 7-letter bingo. There might be something through the I. I don't think re-inhale is good. Now I've also got the doubles to consider. OD in column 4, AG in column 6, MI and AE. Well, AE is not very likely. AG could be part of a word ending AGE. Can't see anything there. What about MI? Well, that could be part of a word beginning hemi. Can't see anything there. And OD, well, nearly Hodai Ernal. I would have needed one of my E's to be an I to play that. Now, in terms of non-bingos, I do have Hadge in row E. Only about 19 points. Weir takes an S in front for future reference. So, what to do with this rack? Now my A can also go in column 12 in front of the J, and that spot is now more valuable because if I can play to make a word beginning BI, I'm going to score more points. So, can I do that? BIN. That's got to go there. This has got to go here. My E could go, or has to go, here. But I think that's not going to work for me. I don't have a word there, or a word ending with that. Well, this is quite a tricky rack. Part of the trouble is the L and the N don't go well together. I could play lean in column 12. 22 points. Keeping HER. Is that best? Let me see what it looks like. Lean 22 points, rack leave of EHR. It doesn't feel great, but I think it's okay. Gosh, that's pretty grim. I do have a wharf, but I can't see anywhere to play it. My W can go after JA. Wow, what a horrible rack. The F, the V and the W really don't go well together at all. And the H compounds the problem of having a lot of heavy consonants. Now columns 1 and 3 have some value for non-bingo words, hooking the W of weir. So I could play wave in column 3, keeping FHR, certainly better than changing. My opponent's taking a while, they may have a good rack. Now row G is interesting, above amatory. I could play Hwan, H-W-A-N. I can play Vor in that spot, V-A-W. That's good because it retains the E and gets rid of my two worst consonants. Well, I hope that stays available. And it provides no opportunities for my opponent. Lean takes a C and a G in front for future reference. Wow, my opponent is taking a long time. I'm expecting a bingo to come down. But there aren't too many bingo lanes. No. That's good. And my Vor spot has not been taken. 29 points, that's a good score. That looks a slightly better rack. Still 3 high scoring or 3 scoring tiles, but the vowel consonant balance is fine. And I have an 80-point lead. I've got an R and a P for going after J, A. So I could play Hoer, H-O-E-R, but that then opens up row A for hooking the S in front of it, so that's not great. Ode in column 4 takes an A after it, as well as an S. I've got hereof as a 6-letter play. Wow, good bingo for my opponent, and doesn't use a blank, so we're now completely level. So, what can I do here? Well, I could do PEH across here. Probably takes out the more dangerous of the triple word squares. And the rack leave is okay, although I would rather have kept either the H or the P rather than the F, but the O and R soften the F because I have the potential for or do have the 4 prefix spell with and without the E. Pretty good. I have trefoil, and that plays in row C, making lie and owl. But I'm expecting my opponent to go in row A, so that opportunity may vanish. And there's nowhere else to play it. Weird takes an O and an S after it. Aha. ALI is not good. I thought for a moment trefoil was still playable. Well it is, because all is good. Fantastic. And I'm relieved that I didn't disregard this spot. I guess that's quite an important thing to note, that sometimes when you can see a bingo in one spot, when that spot is obstructed, there's a tendency to look in exactly that spot, whereas in this case it was now playable but just one spot to the left. So trefoil and all 78. Does trefoil have an anagram? It does. It has loftier, and my mind is telling me that there's something else. And in fact, loftier is going to be, well, I was going to say it's going to be better because it enables me to hook MA in column 10, but let me just say, yeah, if I play loftier, the play doesn't get doubled, and the F's in the same spot, so it's not getting doubled. So I think trefoil is fine, but is there a third member? Trefoil, loftier. No, I may well be thinking of anagrams of trefoils. In any event, I think this is fine. Great, I draw the Z, which is a nice tile to have on a tight board when you're 90 points up. I'm looking in column 1 to see if I've got a 6-letter play ending with an O. Can't see one. I think cousin is good, spelt with a Z. Zinco and zinc are good, and ouzo is good. Zorai is good, which plays from A4 down. That's going to score over 40 points, although it is then inviting a response in row A. Now, what about a play beginning at D1? Can't see anything there. The whole of the bottom of the board is really inaccessible. It looks pretty dependent on somebody hooking ODE with either an A or an S. Or I guess a play down from the Y of die. But I won't be creating that opening myself unless I have a bingo in row K, because I'm ahead and a tight board is advantageous to me. Now, right now, I'm preferring Zorai in column 4. It does keep the U, but the N and the O soften it. I'm looking around for any other spots for my Z, and I can't see any. My opponent may well go in the top left of the board just because the bottom of the board is so blocked. Cuz is good, C-U-Z. Nowhere great to play that. Right, well, my opponent has opened the board up with Jaded. And actually that makes it a lot easier for me to play Zorai up here, because there are now 2 hotspots on the board, row A and column 15. I'm just pausing in case I've got a Z play down from the D of Jaded, but I don't think I do. Not a great rack. But I do have the C as a scoring tile. I can't see a play using the Z. I'm wondering about duction, but I'm not sure about that, and I should be. It's conduit, I think it's just conduit and noctuid. So I don't have a play in either of the hotspots. Well, I probably do have something down from the D, but nothing great. There's also column 1 for a 6-letter play ending in O. There's not very much I'd like to keep from this rack. Although looking down, there's only one I and only one O unplayed. So the usual desire to play off the I's and the O's to avoid getting duplicates doesn't apply in this case. So actually, if I played off just T, U, my rack leave would be pretty good. And there's certainly places to do that, I'm sure. Right, well, this is interesting. My opponent's taken neither of the hotspots. My fear was that he was going to take both of them. So I could just play ducked down here. Sorts out the duplicates, plays off the problem U, scores 20 points, denies my opponent the use of this spot. Great, I draw the second blank. The vowel situation isn't great. I've drawn one of the remaining U's and the only unseen O. But the blank changes everything. It offers enormous flexibility. I've got 9 minutes left. There are 15 tiles left. So, what's the best way to approach this? The bingo lane is column 14 for hooking ducked. So that would be a play beginning with I or U or S or A or E. Well, I can eliminate the E possibility and the S possibility. Now, what about a play beginning U? Well, that's probably going to begin UN. Can't see anything there. And if the blank was an A, there's nothing. So I don't think that's a promising spot. But it remains available. I don't think I can use the Z in row A, which is a shame. So what am I going to do? There's the Y of amatory for a bingo beginning Y, E. Nothing there. There's row K for a bingo beginning with S or A. Or with A and S in second place. Nothing there. Well, this is quite tricky. So, what do I want to do? Play off the O and the U. Actually, playing that off anywhere is going to be good. Wow, I can't see anywhere to play off O, U. And I certainly want to do that. Seven and a half minutes left. Okay, where can I play off my U? Gosh, is there really nowhere to play off my U? Well, I could play it here. But the rack leave's awful. I was thinking about playing Union, but that doesn't quite work. I really don't want to play off just the U for 5 points. Well, what about opening the board up more? It's foolish getting a fabulous rack leave and nowhere to play the bingo which arises. This, I think, is fine. Great, I've got the Q to go with the U. Now, do I have a bingo here? I'm wondering about Pi Quito. Does that play anywhere? I don't think it does. Ah, I've got quiz at A1. I've got quiz. Fantastic. So quiz for 1,000,000 points, and I'm keeping the blank. And that should stay available. That spot stayed available for quite some time. There aren't an enormous number of words ending Z. And I don't think there are many other ways of obstructing that spot. 6-letter words ending O or A are quite rare. I'm thinking about were my opponent to play in column 1. And in any event, hopefully he's distracted by my Yoni play. So quiz is my preferred choice. If that gets taken, what do I do? Where else can I play my Q? Well, I've got coin at D1 across for 20 odd points. That would leave a decent rack leave. 12 tiles left and they're pretty bingo-y. I've got over 100-point lead, so I'm quite optimistic about bingoing. But it's imperative that I leave myself with a decent rack leave to maximise my chances of doing so. Great, quiz stays available. Nine tiles in the bag. Quiz 66 points and a great rack leave. Catty pose is good. Can't see anywhere for that. Tex has actually taken out quite a few floaters. So, apart from Catty pose, are there any other 7s? Let me look for them. Nothing so far. That's the Catty pose rack. No bingos provided, new floaters or openings provided by my opponent. Jackpots through a C, there isn't a C. I've got just under 6 minutes left, there are 3 tiles in the bag. Still haven't seen anything apart from Catty pose. Ostmark is good, but not Ostpark. Nothing there. Swank pot through an N. Okay, well that's a little unfortunate. I was hoping that there would be a bingo. So there are no 7s. What about 8s? Well, there's the Y of Amatry. Can't see anything beginning Y, E. The Ode spot, row K, has been obstructed by Yoni, unless the word began OA or OS. Can't see anything there. I've got the E of Tex to begin a bingo. Nothing there. Okay, so 3 tiles left. What I'm looking to do is play off 2 tiles. And the 2 tiles I would like to play off are the K and the O. Where can I do that? And I'd like to do this fairly quickly to maximise my thinking time for a bingo. So I can play Koa down here. 21 points. I'm 140 points ahead, so I am going to win. Let's see if I can win with a bingo. Ooh, not great. But I've got, well... Okay, my opponent's just taken the bingo lane. Unless I've got something beginning up. Don't think I do. No tiles left. Where are the other bingo lanes on this board? There's the Y of Amatry. Nothing there. There's an O or an A to go after the O of Yoni. No, nothing. There's the E of Text. No, well, this doesn't look particularly bingo-y. The B and the P are clunky together. I've got far too many consonants. I've got a duplicate S, so I'm not close to a bingo. It doesn't matter. I've got a huge lead. The bag is empty. My opponent cannot go out in one. He does not have a bingo with his tiles. So I'm looking... I've got just under 3 minutes. I'm looking to go out in 2. So, how can I do that? Not easy. Let's see what this scores. Soap, 27. Do I want to play soaps? Is that S useful to me? It's not very useful. There are very few spots that end with it. So if I played soaps here, can I play off BT blank? Surely I can. Wow, what a grim situation. Stub in column 6. Ah, well, I've got stub in column 6 by keeping the S. I think I will keep it. Okay, well, I've got stab in row E. It doesn't go out, but it scores reasonably, making Zorries. So I think it was a good idea to retain the S. Now, do I have anything in row D? For example, putting my B underneath the O. Great, I don't need to worry about that. So BOS. BOST is not good. So I can't see a play there, but in any event, I think stab is going to be fine. Well, it is fine, but it may well be the highest scoring out. So stab 18. And that takes me over the 500 mark, which is always good. And the final score, 318 to my opponent, 519 to me. A winning margin of 201 points. Let's see what I missed. It was me to go first. I saw Amatry. What else was there? Well, a few things. Trimartyr and Tramway. Well, I think Amatry was probably the easiest of those to spot. Here, well, there were some longer plays. I played Doji at I4. Doggy was also playable, getting rid of the second G. This is where I blocked our Midgero, and a whole bunch of low-scoring plays. What did I do? Yeah, gyro's one of them. That's fine. Now, this looked bingo-y, but I couldn't see one. And lair at e3. Oh, that's quite nice, playing parallel to Weir, getting the h doubled twice, and a great rack leave. So I think that was the play on that move. Yeah, I don't think lean was particularly great at all, but score isn't too bad compared to the other options. My opponent has eyelids and Seedily. Can't see if they... Seedily and Swear. Let's just check this. Yeah. Now, this was a horrible rack. Gosh, Warv at A3. Very nice, making we. Yeah, that gets rid of a lot of horrible tiles. I played Vor for 29, which had the advantage of retaining the E and the advantage of not providing opportunities for my opponent, but the disadvantage of keeping the FH combination, which is non-bingo-y. Mind you, Warv keeps the F, which is also non-bingo-y. So Vor, if it is second best, is so by not very much. This is where my opponent bingos, so good spot by him. And this is where I played Pay at A13, and that looks fine. This was my trefoil and loftier rack, and these were the only bingos. Wow, didn't think of that. Oh, sorry, didn't think of either Zircon or Zorino. It's in the same spot as I played Zori. I think Zori is better, though, because Zircon, although it scores 8 more points, has no consonant, so there's a big vowel-consonant imbalance. And the retention of the N with Zori certainly helps with the U, so I'm happy with my play. I did not like this rack. I played Ducked, and that looks fine. Now, did I have a bingo? Great, I didn't. Oh, I didn't miss one. Now, this is where I was looking to play off OU. Now look at that. I could have made Weirdo and YU. That would have been really nice. Yeah, that certainly would have been a good play. Yoni has its merits, given that I've got a bingo-y rack and that it's providing bingo opportunities, but it's got the demerit of retaining the U. Now, my opponent played Tex, and this is where I had Quiz. Surely it must be best. Yes, it is. Now, the only bingo I saw was Catty Pose. Yep, and Koa at M2 was my play to maximise my chances of bingoing, which didn't play off. Gosh, I thought for a moment that the top choices were bingos. They're not. Well, 32 points for upbeats. Maybe that was a good thing. Actually, I don't think so, because Soap scores quite a lot, 27, and then enables me to score well. But the S alone could be put on the end of Zori, so possibly upbeats was better, but I am unable to say for certain. Let's see what outs I had. Well, the only outs I had were in column 6, so if my opponent had blocked that, I wouldn't have had such a good... I wouldn't have been able to go out in 1. Anyway, that was the end of the game. So quite a good game. It was a tight board at first. There was no action going on in the bottom half of the board. And then Yoni opened that up towards the end. But it was quite an unusual and intriguing game, and good fun to play. And quite satisfying to come out of a tight game with a 500-point score. Usually that comes with lots of bingos. That wasn't the case in this game. But I was able to keep scoring steadily, and certainly the 60-odd points for Quiz helped. So I hope that video was useful to you and that you enjoyed watching it. My name is David Webb, and this has been a video for Dweebovision.